been hearing a helicopter coming for a while now. There's a jet going, just getting here. There's the pink spots on my arms. That will begin, the pink spots appear, and that raised, bruised look, that's where the vein goes over the top. It's like a line from the pronounced lump on my elbow, radially across my arm, to the weird callousy area, to my thumb and forefinger mostly. There's a certain look to it. You see it throb? That happens every time that jet flies over. That's flying over nowhere near the airport, and every 10 minutes practically, like clockwork, and even more frequently at 4 different times of the day, when there's one per minute, about a minute and 40 seconds per jet. And my arm hairs usually begin to turn black, and the crows begin to crow, and the neighbor dog starts to bark, and the heat pumps over there will kick on. Anything electrical that's on the verge of kicking on will decide to kick on a little sooner than normal. At Dan's place, I noticed the well pump. There's a well and a pump for it. The water pressure would increase as soon as, just all at once, like the event horizon of this airplane's radio wave hits my area, and bam, the water pressure increases. That's the best. This is the best scenario I can come up with for describing it, how it seems to be. Oh yeah, everything's associated with my physical feelings, I should say. All of those are associated and connected with a problem in my joints. Not that I have a problem in my joints that would naturally be there, but when this stuff's happening, it makes you feel really stiff, like you're suddenly 100 years old and you're trying to climb a flight of stairs or something, right? And if you can crack your back or get your shoulder to pop, crack your knuckles even on down to your fingers, any joint you have, if it will pop or does a little snap while this is happening, it gives some relief to the joint, and I immediately get a loogie in my throat, like this nasty tasting, thick, mucusy loogie, and I spit it out. Now, it was a long time before I really started to consciously think about it, and there's a connection between the plane going over and the pain. I got that right away, but the plane going over, the pain, popping a joint, and a mucusy loogie coming out of my throat. It took a while for those to develop. Well, this is all unfolding as I try to stay alive, but on the roof of your mouth, on the palate, in the back there, is where the mucus will build up. The other day, when I'm in the shower, I'm brushing my teeth, and I brush the roof of my mouth a little bit, and the orange-red colored plasma, nasty shit comes out of my throat. It tastes like blood, kind of. So I spit it out, and I scrub it again. Another one. Spit it out again. Another one. Spit it out. It's not bleeding. If I stop doing that, nothing comes out. There's no blood. I don't get blood in my mouth. It's not bleeding. Just like the sores, like my continuously bleeding earlobe from last year, or my eyebrows the year before that bled for 9 months and still want to. The swollen area here and there is where the infected living Morgellons shit is under my skin. And these areas used to be 10 times as big, went all the way down the sides of my head and on the back of my head. It actually feels like there's a headquarters in your body to where this shit is amassed at, and that is right there, the base of your skull, the top of the spine, back of your head, which is also corresponds to your palate, soft palate, I guess, where the stuff was coming out, which is connected to sinus tissues, which was the sides of your head, your eyebrows, sinuses, And there's a pathway, it must be, from your sinuses up here that continues out towards the sides of your neck, because I have issues along this line. The hairs will turn black only there, and they'll be crispy, hard, and hurt and burn. It does that everywhere, but they'll be worse there. And down my neck, it goes in a V like that. Like up here, out here. Again, it's everywhere in our bodies. If you're younger, or if you haven't had as much built up in you yet, it's not even really noticeable. And when you get enough in it to where you're having problems like I am, it's still barely noticeable. It doesn't look like anything particularly bad at any given moment. And if you try to tell people that, well, I have these issues even more so and extremely acutely, when an airplane is approaching or flying over, they think you're crazy, or that you did too many drugs and blew your mind out, and you're just a moron at that point, and they discredit anything you say. And meanwhile, in the real world, there's homeless people everywhere. They're breathing this shit and being microwaved by airplanes all day and all night, every day and every night. And it comes off of your body. Your hairs are an excellent outlet for toxins, tiny ones that you can't see, but they're there. They stream out when this plane goes over, as if drawn by a giant magnet in the plane. And it's a real thing. It's not, it's not wireless. There's no such thing as wireless. A stream of electrons is a stream of electrons. That's a wire. Here comes the plane. I'm starting to lose focus. I'm going to get bruisey looking again. Definitely going to have the throbbing wrist. There it goes, my little worm inside there, right? And there, oh, the vacuum seal. It swells the top. Vacuum seal's there. That white lump can sometimes go completely away, and then it will just return. Here comes my favorite plane, right? I lost my vacuum sealing my finger. That's always nice when your fingerprints vacuum seal just kind of spontaneously as the plane's coming. See the hairs beginning to turn black, I'm sure. It's pretty obvious. I'm not delusional or imagining it. So yeah, I gotta go find a washer for this piece for the BMW I'm trying to work on while dealing with this stuff. What's that up in the sky? It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a plane. Oh yeah. Okay. There's the new pink spot on my wrist, right above where it throbs and the hairs get the most black. Because that's, that's your imagination, son. That's not really happening. You need to go get some meds at the doctor. That's why we got free healthcare. This is a land of freedom. Don't you want to be free? On my face, bug. I find so many tiny insects just pop up out of nowhere, or seemingly from under my skin, and want to get right in my face, only when the plane's flying over. It's not imagined. That's how it happens. And I love them black hairs. That's great. So I've taken to just spitting at them, because they'll just be right there in my face. They're too close to slap. They're too small, and they're constantly jittering. Here it is, the middle of winter. It's been frozen several times, and what's that got to do with anything? Bugs reproduce all the time. Although historically, we've had a nice bug-free zone at this time of year. That is until the past 6-7 years, when it went on a massive increase, and now we've got bugs of all weird varieties, and all the ones that used to be here have disappeared, along with the chirping, singing birds, and they've been replaced by crows and pigeons and some vulture-looking turkey things. I don't even know what they are. They've got black ducks too, like really black ducks, like crow ducks. Fuck the ducks is what I'm saying. Oh my god. I'm having trouble breathing too. Like, one of the things I was mentioning was your hair is releasing electrons, I guess, for lack of a better word, right now, that are being drawn from the potential in the plane. That's what the towel around my neck is for, and the necklace holding it there is to absorb them, because one of the paths is like up and out, like apparently the tops of your shoulders and collarbone, sides of the neck, and it comes out mostly in the ears, up the cheeks, out the sides of the eyes, and the top of the head as this stuff's drawn out. I've been dealing with it now for 3 years that I've known kind of what's going on, and it's only over this 3 years that I've put as much detail together as I can give right now. I lost my other track. The planes are circling right now. They're a little bit off in the distance. They just do overlapping circles. So there's a good, hour period and then there's a 10-minute break, and then another hour period where you continuously hear airplanes either closer or farther away, but not quite there until they get to your area, whereas they fly directly over you for several minutes. Jets and planes coming from every fucking direction, super low, and do I need to remind everybody, we're nowhere near the airport. It's fucking 12 miles south of here, on the other side of the river. I've lived in this town most of my life, since I was a kid, and in the late 70s and the 80s and the early 90s, there was never any jetliners flying over anywhere in this city, ever. Except for a big storm once in a while. I think I saw one time in a strange position by Millplane. And as far as the small planes, there's several airfields around here, and when the economy was better, there were some private planes that you would see, here and there, especially in the summertime, on nice days. That's well and good, but now you would think, millionaires in their airplanes who just love to fly lazy circles over residential neighborhoods 24 hours a day, rain or shine, even on the holidays. That seems perfectly logical, right? Because, millionaires with little airplanes and unlimited amount of fuel, they've got nothing better to do than fly around in fucking circles and, see what your roof's looking like. Fuck you, motherfucker. Crash and burn, you spineless fucking coward piece of shit. That's your tax dollars at work. Hiring pilots to put their microwave transmitter on their little plane and then fly around over your house, giving you cancer and mental problems as well, which is what people will say you have if you tell them the information I'm telling you. But I've come to this information by necessity, not because I want to believe some crazy bullshit. Look at my texture of my pinky. The back side of the arm, like I was pointing out, and the weird knob there, it's a little bigger than it should be, This thing, it feels like a bone spur almost. That's like a nodal point for it. And you can see the freaking line. This finger is fucked up, my thumb gets fucked up, and this one. These two fingers are messed up too, but they don't get the most of it. It's the ones on the outside and the inside. The wrist throbs right there. It vacuum seals on the top. I'm going to tell you about my shoulder. My shoulder will do the same thing as this. It will get that funky, white, crusty keratin skin crust look on it, right? And it'll get larger and larger and larger, and then it'll turn pink on top, and then it'll dimple and it'll wrinkle, and then it will split open, just like my eyebrows and my earlobe did, except just like those, it doesn't bleed. It's just moist and open like a sore, and you can dab it off of there, but you can't squeeze anything off of there because there's no pus underneath. There's just an open sore that plasma goes into. It comes out all orangey. It only does this when there's lots of jets and lots of airplanes and sometimes helicopters continuously circling me. What a bunch of bullshit, huh? Even if you thought that there was nothing sinister going on, if you're an American and you think that means jack fucking shit about your constitution and your rights? That's my fucking earbug. And there's the plane. The twitchy plants. That's a good one. The bamboo really likes to show it. And so does this thing. See, there's a slight breeze. All of a sudden the breeze will change. It'll get real specific about where it blows. It's suddenly not just a breeze that's wafting in. It's a real targeted breeze almost. It's like it's going into one spot, or certain trees will attract it. Maybe it's just wherever I am, and the birds will begin to squawk out. Or, that's not a singing bird, that's a squawking bird. There's a difference. And in the distance, all the glorious sounds of an airplane. Everybody needs an airplane flying over at all times. That's just common sense. When it's slightly raining, and the airplane or the jet is flying over really low and it's approaching, or we should say when it's drizzly, when it's, and there's moisture in the air that's real and it's drizzly, it will begin to rain right where the plane is, and it will stop as the plane goes over. It will follow, the rain follows it. I can only guess that the frequencies of the radio wave it's sending out are strong enough to gather the ions together in that area, drawing in the particulate that makes the rain fall. Something like that. There's the basic pretense. You figure out the rest. I'm trying to stay alive while I turn purple and splotchy and such in my... Hey, if I want to take my pulse, I just have to look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gee, it's about 100, 120 beats a minute. That seems awfully fast for just standing here talking. Traditionally, of course of my life, at rest, my pulse is about 62. And I've taken my pulse after jogging for a while. It's about 85, 90, tops. I'm fucking healthy, except for this shit. And, oh yeah, the airplane that triggers it. People can imagine whatever they want. The truth is, your doctor is not there to help you in the slightest bit. Your doctor there is there to maintain your health. It doesn't say improve your health, that's maintain it. Maintain your sickness level. That way, you're under control. And now you do what they told you. And now you're under control. And now you do what they told you. Now you're under control. And now you do what they told you. Oh, I forgot my wallet at the airport. Oh, I better turn around and fly back and go get it. I'm so forgetful. And the jet plane man over here. Did I remind you the airport's 12 miles south? Except there's a continuous stream of jetliners at nearly all times that is coming from the southeast, going to the northwest, which is over every residential neighborhood in this county. And they fly really low and really slow, because that's why we designed the jet plane, so that we could take things and people places really slowly at a really low elevation. I mean, blimps move faster than these fucking things. So why do they need to fly jumbo jets at ultra low speed over your house continuously? Can anybody tell me? I'm trying to find some twitchy trees here. This is the first time I've had a halfway decent camera to use for a while. Plus I've been too messed up to really make videos. I mean, it's continuous all day and all night. I'm seriously relaxed and rested and scrubbed right now. So that's why I'm able to